Welcome back to another episode of These Two Girls podcast, where we share our views on love, life, and everything in between with your hosts, Sisters
Candy.
and Cheyenne.
And Cheyenne, yeah.
Happy anniversary, Candy.
Happy anniversary, Shy. It's our anniversary.
Apparently,
Yes.
you haven't let me forget it, so.
Uh, yes, guys. Yes, I'm a bit excited. We made it. We made it to 1 year, and
I feel like the stereotypical husband that forgets the anniversary and doesn't do anything special.
I never thought about it that way. Cheyenne.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put it.
And then you're over there like mad at me,
Oh, okay.
for not
All
doing
right.
anything special or whatever, like that kind of stuff.
I hear you. That's all right. I didn't think about it that way. I like that one. Yes. So yes, I'm the wife that's super excited. I've been thinking about our anniversary from last month, probably the month before. Like,
Yeah.
how long have I been talking about this?
Like
Cheyenne?
3-4 months since the
Okay.
beginning of the year.
She is probably right, y'all. She is probably right. I think she is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's our anniversary, listeners. These two girls, we made it to 1 year. Whoop whoop. You know, a lot of people. Sometimes people probably don't make it this far because they're watching the numbers and they may get discouraged or for different reasons. Females, you know how females can't stick to one thing for too long because they have issues or I don't know. So it's a big deal for
Yeah,
me.
that's true. I guess
I would do it for the love. We not do it for the likes.
Oh, okay.
Right, right, Shine.
Right.
Right. Go ahead. Tell them. Yes. That's a Jamaican. We're Jamaicans to any of our new listeners. Although some may say we don't sound like it all the time, which I've gotten. Have you heard that?
Oh
Any
yeah.
feedback?
Oh yeah.
You've
Of course.
heard that? Yeah.
Every time I tell somebody I'm Jamaican, they're like, "Oh, you don't have an accent."
Right.
And
And I've heard it read the podcast too. Whenever, like, maybe I'll do something in Jamaican, and I hear, I heard you Candy on the podcast trying to be Jamaican.
I'm not even
Really?
gonna get into that right now because I just feel like, I don't have to subscribe to your definition, okay? And
Yes, there you go.
You can hop off.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Cheyenne, now that we've made it to a year, how do you feel? What's the takeaways? The good, the bad, the ugly? Anything?
I mean, we had some like pauses, where we weren't recording for a while, and
Okay.
we're only, what is this, episode 16 in,
Right.
and I mean, it should have been a little bit more than that at this point, I think.
Okay.
And that's, not necessarily our intentional doing, but it happens, life happens, and we keep going because, we could have just said this was too hard and,
That is true.
said,
That
well,
is
we
true.
gave it a shot, and, well, it was
At least
fun.
we know we tried.
Yeah. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
to continue on, well, we keep making improvements. We do a little better every time, I think, in terms of being consistent and, things like
Okay.
that. But I think it's been fun. I've had some fun conversations with
Okay.
people. I've seen different sides to people that I didn't know, some of our guests. Not that I didn't know them, but didn't know them as well, maybe.
Right. That's true.
And it's been fun, and it's been a fun outlet to say what I want to say. I don't
It
really say
has.
all that I want to say, but it's been somewhat of a I don't know what the word, an outlet, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So I can definitely agree with you on the outlet part.
Mhm.
I love that part. I love that, you know, we get to, it's like a diary. Sometimes you just put it out there. This is what we're thinking, this is what it is, our feeling sources, and put it on the table. And then I love the guests too, like you mentioned. Like, I love that we get to hear their opinions on things.
Mhm.
I know that you would love to see more debates happening, Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring that into the new season.
I'm really ready to
Um,
argue with someone, but you know.
yes. So I know. Yes. So that's Cheyenne, y'all. She's good for a nice debate. So I'm gonna try to make that work. So if anybody, you have a topic and you've heard Cheyenne's views on certain things and you want to go at it,
Maybe
like,
you want to
let
catch
us
me
know.
outside.
Catch her outside. I would love to hear the both of you. I'm not a debater. I'm not into all of that, but I would love to be a part and listen, and I'll just be on the back end just nodding or something. But hey, let's make it happen. I love to listen to debates and watch it and just see everybody's passion on the table. So,
Mhm.
that's good. Um and the feedback has been really good from even our podcast. We get some negatives, but the positive, they've been really good. And I just see how this podcast has changed certain conversations, even amongst my friends.
Mhm.
Like for me, I have different groups of friends. I'd like to say that we talk about different things. Like, probably I'll talk about church with one group, or like children with another group, or I don't know, life with another group. Just different conversations happen within the different groups, and I feel like the podcast with all my different circles listening kind of just brings everything into, brings it all together. So it's like, oh, so Candy, I didn't know that you felt this way about this, or Candy, I didn't know you felt this way about that. Yeah, now we're all now just talking about the same thing now.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that helped just bringing everything all together. And I love the feedback and the ideas that other people like to throw out there. So it's been a nice ride so far.
Cool. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, keep riding with us. It's these two girls.
Mhm.
We're hopefully here to stay. You know. Um.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you have any, of course, if you have any topic suggestions and all of that good old stuff,
Yeah.
our email, where to find us,
These two girls podcast at gmail.com.
right? And we're on Instagram, and we recently opened our Facebook page.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, girl, that took so much. I was like, we're gonna open it now, the Facebook page. Now
So,
everybody,
so
yeah.
okay, listeners. So Candy and I have not really shared this podcast with our parents. Ironically, this is what this episode is about, like mothers. But I did not share this podcast with my parents and my mother, or a lot of my other family
Members.
members that are older. Like my cousins know, but I wasn't really, not that I'm trying to hide it, but I just really wasn't really into having this conversation. So now I'm thinking, now that you've opened up Facebook, that's where our parents are.
That is where
What
they are.
what's gonna happen now?
Yeah, same here. Like Shine said, I haven't told my parents. I kind of accidentally told my dad, like I was supposed to
You,
send him a text or something else, and I ended up sending him a link to one of the episodes.
how do
And
you? That
girl,
is
I don't
like,
know how that happened.
mm-mm. It's people
And
like you,
it is.
that listen.
Oh my gosh, you're right. And I don't. But the thing is, I don't think he realized that this is an ongoing thing. I think he probably just thought that I just sent him a record. I don't know. I just know we have not spoken about it since then. So I am not quite sure if he knows that this is a permanent
There's more
thing.
than just the one episode that you sent him.
Right. My family members, the older ones, like you said, the aunts, they don't know about it. I don't think.
Do
My
you
cousins do.
do you remember what episode you sent to your dad?
I sent him the traveling episode. I think with Lacey.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So that was a that was a nice one. That wasn't anything too much.
Nice and kosher.
That wasn't the grease in the hinges.
Oh,
It wasn't gray sweatpants.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't any of those episodes.
Wow.
Wow. So yeah, but we grown now, so it doesn't matter. We're adults.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's how you feel. All right, wait till you get home.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess Facebook will be, and if they don't see it on Facebook, I'm sure one of our relatives or one of them older folks gonna be like, "Yeah, so your daughter has radio station." We hear your daughter up on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how I don't even, they probably don't even know what a podcast is.
Not at all.
No. No. Yeah. Something on the internet. Me hear your daughter up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, so.
Oh,
hey.
People are funny. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's, 1 year, and we're going to keep chucking, and I've given up on this music thing. I'll just let you know that now. Because everything is saying that copyright this, copyright that. I don't have time to be sued right now. And we're not even making any money to mess around and get sued.
Right.
Or lose our rights on SoundCloud or whatever.
You probably have to get, like, underground, like, SoundCloud artists, like, because we put the other one on the other day, Resolution, by Naughty Prince, and that one was cleared, right?
Yeah, I didn't receive any emails from that.
Right. So we got cleared on that one.
Well, then, if you're listening,
shout out to Naughty Prince. Thanks for allowing us to use your track. Y'all check him out. Yes,
that was a good song. But if you're listening and you're an underground artist and you'd like your music to be featured on our podcast, please email us.
Love it. Do it again. Sorry, let me not interrupt. Go ahead. Do it again.
If you're listening to us and you're an underground artist and you'd like your music to be played on our podcast, please email us at these2girlspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to peruse your work and assess its appropriateness of... That's not a word.
All right, Swoop. All right.
That's not a word.
All right.
But, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That would probably be the best way to do it. You ever notice some people post under our Instagram, like, play my music?
I have noticed that. I wonder if that's what's been happening with the Fake. Because, if anybody listens to the Fake podcast, every now and then they'll play a song in the beginning and talk about somebody sending them the song. Yeah, somebody on SoundCloud sending them.
Like in our comments. Maybe once or twice. Maybe I'll go back and see.
But we also get followed by a lot of music people on SoundCloud also, or wherever also. Okay. I see, like, when I wake up in the night and I'll see something, like I'll get a notification and I'll see some musician following us.
Oh, well.
So
maybe we'll put some effort into reaching out to somebody and saying,
I'll check that out. I don't know if it's our type of music, but I mean, check them out.
What do you mean our type of music? We just had an episode.
All right. I take that back. I take it back. I completely take it back. I take it back. Rewind. What did I used to say? Delete. Delete. Yes, I take it back.
You're about to change that to the name of our podcast. Delete.
You mean shady over there?
No,
are you being shady over there?
I'm not. It just kind of works for me. But I'm saying, you say it like every other episode. So
Right. Yeah, y'all, I just be saying stuff that I would try to take back and
what? One more little thing in regards to the anniversary. So I don't think many of our listeners know that These Two Girls was not the original name of our podcast. When we first had the idea, the name of the podcast was supposed to be it sounds funny now to me, but The name of the podcast was supposed to be A Teacher, a Doctor, and a Christian Walk into a Bar. Yes, a teacher, a
Yeah.
doctor, and a Christian walk into a bar. So we had all this stuff. We had the handles, walk into a bar, 2017, this and that. But it was really long, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, then we did like a test episode, and we had our closest friends as a focus group to listen and give us their feedback. And apparently, in the first episode, we said these two girls like a million times. And some of them thought that was the name of the podcast.
Right. Right.
And so we ended up saying, that doesn't sound too bad.
Okay, we'll work with it.
So the name was born. So that's just a fun trivia fact for you.
Look at you. Look at you. I didn't even remember that. That seems like ages ago.
I know. Well, it was only a year ago.
Right. So much has happened in a year, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay.
Right.
Trivia for you guys. Remember that. So when we reach when we're celebrating like the 5th year, you know, and we have like a
like
trivia
a giveaway.
Giveaway.
Right.
Let's see who can remember. So try to remember so you don't have to go through all 100 episodes to find it. Okay. Remember it from here. Right, right, son, right? Think big, right,
yes,
right?
Yes,
we better hit 100 by 5 years. Come on, seriously.
Well,
unless we're not. Okay. All right. So yeah,
moving on.
Anyway,
Mother's Day is coming up. / when you listen to this would be gone.
Right. Yes, when you do listen to it. Yeah.
It's right. It's this in the next few days / few days ago. You got any plans for Mother's Day?
Well, I was gonna take her to see that Gabrielle Union movie. It was supposed to be like mothers are badass kind of movie kind of thing. So I was gonna take her to see that, and buy her something, or take her to get her pedicure or something. I haven't really thought it through. I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. Let me not be fake on this podcast. All I thought about was the movie. That's honestly it.
Because you want to see the movie.
I mean, not really. I mean, I know how the movie's gonna end. She's gonna save the kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to see it, but I think it's a movie that it's good for moms and kids to sit down together without you feeling some type of way because you're sexing or something, you know? It's PG something. It's clean, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do you still have... Oh, before I get into that. Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm going to be in Augusta, and my mother's in Fort Lauderdale, so I will be doing nothing. I'm going to ask Shanique what she's doing on behalf of us, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think over the years my mother does not expect anything from us. We don't usually do anything for her specifically. Neither my dad when it comes to Father's Day either.
Right.
But it's just not a thing. It's like...
It's a pagan.
Yeah, man. You know, I'll subscribe to these pagan holidays over here. You know, the man trying to get our money.
I just wanted to throw that in.
Commercialize everything and take our money. You know, I could buy them stuff and do stuff for them
all year round.
You know.
Well, it's kind of just to not have them left out. You know what I'm saying?
Left out from who? From what?
You know, well, our parents are not on social media like that, but you know, people need stuff to post, you know?
I mean, my mother is on social media like that. And
but your mom doesn't post stuff like that, though.
I mean, if we did, she would post. She'd be posting her.
Oh, she will. So you do it so they won't be left out. She needs something to post. You don't want her not to have something to post.
Or I would post something about her, and she can repost it and be like, okay.
It's all for the postings now. That's all we do it for now. It's for the postings.
The postings. Oh, God.
So I was talking about it just came to me was talking about the movie. Do you have those moments? Do you still feel that way when you're watching movies with your
Oh,
parents?
of course. Does
Or it's
anyone
still,
not stop feeling that way? Like, at what
I would
point?
love to know that. Do we grow out of that at
I
any
need to
point in
ask
time?
somebody that like has kids, and is married. Like, do you ever? Because clearly we know you're having sex now. So like.
Right, right, right. I would love to know if parents and their kids just sit down there and the sex scene comes on and they're just cool, or they say
Mhm.
something like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Look at that. That's how we do."
No, no. Okay,
No,
that's a little over the top there.
you don't think any parents and kids out there do that? No,
Yeah,
no one I know though. I don't think anybody I know sitting there having that conversation with their parents.
no. Uh-uh.
Like, that's what I'm gonna do tonight, mama.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know. I've always wondered that if at some point in our lives, parents can sit down there with
I
their
doubt
kids
it.
and
Well, what is the relationship you have with your mother now?
now
Yeah.
versus another point in time. I don't,
Well, I mean, yeah.
you go first.
Well, no, I'm saying. So, what would you be able to sit down with your parents and do that
Oh,
now?
that's what you mean. Oh, no. I mean, it comes on, but we just get real quiet, and it passes, and we move on with the movie.
Okay.
What do you guys fast forward it or something?
No, that's crazy.
Oh,
I
oh, I
mean, I'm
thought I
really
said.
not watching that many movies with my parents or my mom, but my mother falls asleep in movies anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
So she's probably sleeping through the sex
Yeah,
part.
she's sleeping.
Or they pretend like they are. Oh, they
Right,
pretend, yeah. Okay. Yeah, what about your dad?
right. My dad might be a little more awkward than my mom. I feel like he might like clear his throat or look down at his phone or something.
That is,
or randomly find a reason to get up and walk in the kitchen or something. I don't know.
that's my dad. That's what my dad will do. He will find a reason to, like, the thing is, my dad is listen, he tries to be asleep, but my dad knows when something is about to happen.
Mhm.
So he sees like they're getting out of the car and they're
Mhm.
walking to the front door,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
know they've seen
Oh,
their fair share of movies, you know.
right, right. Something's about to happen. Let me go to the kitchen now, or let me go use the bathroom now. And all of a sudden they appear when that scene is finished. I'm like, you ain't fooling
You
anybody.
should be like, oh, you missed it. They was-
I dare you. I dare you.
Oh
Next movie,
man.
I dare you to do that. So, okay. So yeah, Mother's Day.
Mhm.
Um, around the corner would have passed by the time everyone's listening to this episode. So, in celebration of our moms, we have a couple mom questions. So for you, Shine,
Oh gosh.
your so your relationship with your mom back in the day versus now, how has that changed? How was your relationship with your mom when you were, say, a teenager, I guess, or
Teenager. Okay, let's go further than that. When I was younger, my mom was
okay.
always very like, at least she tried to be very open with us, or she thought she was being very open with us. But I think
Okay.
she was doing the best that she knew how. And so, like, I think my mom, like, gave me books about my body and about sex from, like, I swear I was, like, 10. And,
Oh, really?
huh?
I said, oh, really?
Yeah, there was this book that was very popular back then that kind of explained everything to you. And then she would sit there and talk to me about all this. And then this is all like pretty close prior to me getting my period or something. So then, all of that aside, then when I hit my teen years, though, I think we had quite a bumpy relationship. Um,
Um,
she didn't want me to date. Uh, so then I guess I was secretive about it, you know. And then um, I don't know. I think we butt heads a lot in my teenage years. But
mhm.
after I went away to college and came back, I think that time away and time apart was good for us, and she adjusted um, her thought process a little with
Mhm.
me and my sister. As a matter of fact, after I left for college, she adjusted her thought process. I don't know why the younger kids always get away with murder, but she definitely adjusted her thought process with Shanique, and I was in Orlando thinking, what the heck is going on back in Fort Lauderdale? But anyway, but now, I mean, I don't talk to my mother about like dating and things like that. Not so much. Like I've told her things about my past relationships and stuff like that, but and she's still awkward, you know. She's
Mhm.
like, but she listens and she has good advice. So I mean, I talk to her, and I think she trusts me a little bit more now to make my own decisions, obviously. So she seems to be pretty chill. But now, otherwise, me and my mom, we can go out for a drink. We make drinks at the house. We can chill, we can hang. She's down. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's cool.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I guess we all have that bumpy. Well, not all, cause I used to jealous of some of my friends as a teenager with their relationship with their mom. Um, I remember, yeah, we never had the sex talk. When I was younger, we never spoke about boys. Um, we never. I can't remember us ever touching on that stuff. I know my mom she used to try to get other, which I learned recently now that I'm older, that our youth director at um the church, she used to talk to her to talk to me. Which I learned a couple months ago. I didn't even know that she even had the slightest clue as to what was going on in my life. Because she never spoke to me directly. She would get upset with me about different things. Um, but she never mentioned it to me. Um, so we never had that talk. Um, and then we had that bumpy stage. We just didn't get along at all. I was closer to my dad though. Like my dad would be the one that would try to solve everything.
Mm.
But yeah, as I got older, I think when I moved to Maryland right after high school, um, she used to call me every day. She used to call me every day. I don't even know what we spoke about because we still didn't talk about anything really deep, you know? But she would call me every day, and that was good. How are we? No, I think we're still so awkward. Um, it's I don't know. I think our relationship is just weird. Um, she still doesn't talk about those stuff. Even up to we still don't really talk about anything deep. You feel me?
Mhm.
Um, Little by little, some layers are pulled back. Like something that she, said to me the other day, that she realized that she was never really a dreamer, or really had any big plans. And she realized that seeing me, you know, with all my ideas and stuff, she looks back on her her young life, and realized she never really had big plans like that, you know?
That's deep.
and that you're right. So that was one of the deepest um things we spoke about, and and that was eye opening because I think she doesn't understand me at times, and I don't understand her. And I think just her mentioning that made me realize that, yeah, there are things about me she doesn't understand, and that's the reason why.
Mm.
So I guess eventually, you know, maybe things will change a little bit here and there, but we are, we are working on it. I like to see her with some liquor in her system, though. She's hilarious with some liquor in her system. She is so chill. She is so giddy. She's laughing all the time. Everything is mad hilarious. My sister and I, Cara, we get a blast out of seeing her um like that. Um, and yeah, we're still working on stuff, but we're still awkward. We're awkward mother and daughter relationship. Yes.
So, with that said, what's one of your pet peeves about your mother?
Oh my God. What's one of my pet peeves about my mother? Um, so I don't do phone conversations around my mom. I do not talk on the phone around my mom. 'Cause I feel like my mom is trying to be up in my business. Like anytime I'm on the phone, she gets really quiet. She gets
Because you
really
don't want to
quiet. She's like,
disrupt your conversation.
yeah, bro, because she listening, son. So she'll probably hear me talking on her. Say, what's an example I can use? Say I'm planning an event, right?
Mhm.
and and I'm probably telling somebody, remember to get the napkins. The napkins needed. You need to get the napkins, and I'll hang up the phone. And probably the next day I'll hear my mom saying, "Did so and so get the napkins?" And I'm like, can you stay out of my business, please? You know. So that's one of my pet peeves. Like, and the thing is, it's been like that for a while. Like, people don't understand why I have to call them back or why it's been like that for a long time. I do not use a phone around my mom because I do not want her coming back at me with anything that I'm talking about, whether good or bad. I just don't feel comfortable with you being in my conversation. It's not your business.
Have you
So
told
that's
her?
have I told her? I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't. I don't think so. But she knows I think she's nosy. But no, we haven't had that conversation. So that's one of. I mean, there's so many pet peeves, but that's one of my main pet peeves.
Well, I don't have
What's
really
yours?
much with my mother, but she she takes everything personally when it comes to us. Like, and I'm like, you need to just like relax. For example, the first time I got a piercing on my, I think I got the industrial piercing on my ear, and when she saw it, she was asking God like where she went wrong. It like, and I was just like,
Oh
are
my
you
god.
serious right now? she she seriously was like, I feel like she cried about this and
Oh
was
my
like, she
god.
really felt like she did something wrong. And then when Shanique went away to college and then got her belly button pierced, and then she came home and they saw it. I was in Orlando and my mom called me on the phone, like quarreling and crying, and she don't understand where she went
Oh my
wrong. Why would
god.
we do this?
That is
she,
hilarious.
she seriously thinks that, us getting piercings, oh God, don't let one of us get a tattoo. She's
Oh
gonna
my.
like lose it, you know.
Oh my
She might have
god.
to go into fasting and prayer, cause I, she she's like always saying stuff like that, and I'm just like, are you serious? It's not about you, mother.
It
It's
reminds me of a conversation I heard between a mother and a daughter the other day actually, and the daughter was saying she wanted to get a tattoo, and the mother was pleading the blood of Jesus. She said, "No, you don't need those things anymore." And she's like, "Okay, mother, I'm going to get a piercing." You don't need a piercing. That's how the devil gets in, because you put these holes
the
on your
what?
body, and then the devil gets in the holes. And I was like,
Okay,
Lord,
that's gross.
make sense right now. But yeah, when you put the holes in your body and the tattoo, that's how the devil gets in.
Mm.
That's how you allow the spirits to get in. But that's really cute. Your mom, poor thing.
Poor thing.
Please do not do not stress out Sister Sona, please.
I mean, somebody when I was younger used to say to me, "Take time with your parents," and
Take time. Take time. Yes. Yes, I guess, and that is true. Because I know I can be, and I know some of my friends are listening and thinking that they tell me that all the time, but I know I can be a little bit rough with her sometimes, my mom. Um, I
I know
can
you
be,
can, and she's so sweet. I love your mom.
yeah, Shine is one of those people. My mom is, you need, she's just like that in front of you guys. My mom is a beast, yo. Like she just looks sweet because she's small and she's tiny. She's not that sweet, y'all. She's
Oh,
not
come
that sweet.
on.
Like get under her skin. Have y'all ever seen her snap before? Like she can snap.
So what's wrong with
Okay,
that? When she needs to snap, she needs to snap.
whatever. Anyways, I'm just saying that yeah, I can be a bit harsh sometimes, but she can take it. She can take it.
Okay.
She can. So whatever. Whatever.
Okay. So then,
Go ahead.
do you find that you have any traits from your mother? Any things about you that you got from your mother? Any ways about you?
That I've gotten from her.
Yeah, something that you take, like you take off of your mother, in that way.
Yeah, when the same thing that I say when she hears certain things from my phone conversation and she'll bring it back up that I need to do.
Mhm.
I do the same thing at times too.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm dead ass. Yes, it I tend to and and the thing is I can and it's more like there's just certain things that need to get done.
Mhm.
Like she's just annoying with making sure they get done.
Mhm.
And that's what I find myself doing at times. Because people don't always follow through on what they need to do. People leave things hanging that they're supposed to do. People forget stuff,
Right.
and I will see where I've taken that on from her. Like my mom has pre-planned everything, and she'll annoy you with it until it's done. Like say
Mhm.
she checks my mail, which I strongly tell her to not check my mail. She even checked Kara's mail, and Kara don't even live there. But say she comes across a bill that needs to be paid, and she hasn't seen us open that bill, she has already noted in her phone
Mhm.
when this bill is due, and she's going to remind us for the next couple of weeks that
Wow.
this bill is due. Have you paid the
Interesting.
bill yet? Did you pay the bill yet?
Mhm.
Um, so I find
So
myself
maybe this is y'all
doing
fault, cause maybe y'all are not responsible and not paying y'all bills on time. Hmm. Hmm.
really, Cheyenne. I was just using that as an example.
I'm just
She's
saying.
like that all her. You know what? Your turn. What you take from your mom?
I am. I can be argumentative like my mother. Sometimes I hear my mother and my father argue. Yes, people don't
Hmm.
believe that they argue, but they're just like every normal married couple. They'll argue
Okay.
about some petty stuff, right? But I feel like my mother is very petty. Like she Me and Shanique will talk about them, like even in front of them. So my dad is the sweet talker, he got game. So he'll he missed his chance to pass on his wisdom to a son. But my mother, they'll be having a silly argument, but she has to have the last word. Like she
Okay.
will not stop. She will always, and then she'll just continue with one little slick comment after, just to be the last one to say something like
And you
slick.
say that's you, Sam?
Well, that's me in my past relationships. I do the same
Oh,
thing. I'm like,
okay.
I'm just like, I need to finish saying what I'm saying, and I need to say the last thing because you need to hear me.
Okay.
And every time I do it, I catch myself and I'm like, oh God, why am I doing this?
So is that something that you don't want to take into your,
I
you know,
don't want to continue to do that, but it's
okay,
you know sometimes some things
okay.
are just we just pick up, you know.
Is there anything else that you probably see or witness that you don't want to take into maybe parenting or I don't know your relationship or what
Well, in
pretty much
terms of
just in parenting.
parenting, I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of parenting, I think my mother, if we're just gonna focus on the mother, raised us well with my dad, and I think although there were things in my teenage years with me and her butting heads and other times along the way, I would not necessarily go back and change any of that because,
Mhm.
you know, it makes you who you are.
Mhm.
But in the future, if I have kids, that I would want to have a more open relationship with my kids in terms, even though I think she tried to do that, but when I would try to go to her, her response was more out of fear, I think, and so it made it hard to keep going to her because it was more of a shut it down kind of approach than open to conversation kind of approach.
Right.
So
Right.
I think in if I have kids, I would want them I would want to be the one to expose them to certain things. I would want them to be very free to come to me to talk to me about anything, and especially when it comes to their relationships, you know, when they're in their teenage years and
Mhm.
sex stuff, and I think I'm going to try my hardest to do that without being too loose about it. I don't
Mhm.
know how you achieve that balance, but um, I think I will be less, uh, not naive is not the word, but more understanding that certain things are inevitable sometimes and just be ready for those things.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
I hear you.
Like, for
Um.
example, nobody's gonna give my kids weed. 'Cause I'm gonna give it to them first.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's just
Oh.
a random example.
Very random
I'm just
example.
saying. I was having this
Out of all
conversation the
the
other day.
out of all the examples you
Because the
could
sex
have.
stuff is cliche. I mean, that's expected. But if you think about it, if you think about how the society is now, kids are
Mhm.
smoking weed younger and younger. They're doing other drugs younger
Right.
and younger. I mean, I think, if anything, I mean, I'm not going to give my kids illicit drugs, but I'm saying, I would rather them be able to come and ask me about that too, you know?
Right.
And for me to make whatever parental decision I want to make at that time. It'll be my business, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Point taken and noted and and received.
Oh, okay then.
What for me, what I guess what I would want to take in my motherly part of life if that happens, or not take. Um, I don't think we were very affectionate growing up. Um, and I'm like that now. Like I realized at a point in my life that I love hugs. I love. I want to be. Yeah, I just realized that my parents weren't very affectionate as I would have wanted them to be, and my mom wasn't very affectionate to us. And I don't really know what the back history is. Like I don't know if my grandma was like that. Um, but I just know that she's not. So there wasn't all of those hugs and those cuddles and stuff that you see people do on TV or that I see my friends do. So I know that's something that I would definitely want to change. Um, you know, when I become a mother, I want to be all over my kids, all of it. Kiss on the forehead, kiss on the nose, kiss good night. That's how I want to be. Um,
Okay.
what I would take though is my mom. She's a very strong woman. I've seen how she has. She just made things happen. You feel me? Like I just always know that at the end of the day, everything is gonna work out because she makes it work out. You know, um, she just put on her boss hat
Hmm.
and uh, and it's done. You know, and I think that sometimes we've taken advantage of that because we just know she's gonna make it work out. You know,
Mm.
um, but stuff like that makes me scares me because I don't know if I'll be able to make it happen like she does. You know, something needs to be paid, it's paid. Um, somebody needs something for school, it's done. And she makes it happen without, having to steal or anything, but she puts herself on the back burner to make things happen. We were even talking about how my younger sister, how she has her braces and her contacts and everything. And, you know, my mom, she wants to get glasses for herself or something or do something for herself, but here she is again with her youngest child, just making sure that she has everything she needs, which she did for me, which she did for Cara. I know she's doing for my younger sister, and it's like, okay, when do you do for yourself? You know?
Mhm.
So, I've just seen the sacrifices she's made and the things that she's made happen without letting us know too. That's another thing. Like she's very secretive about stuff. Um, and it's and I think she just doesn't want us to know certain things.
Right.
Um, but she gets it done without us knowing that something needed to be done. So that's that that I sort of like about her. She makes you still can be able to be a child without having to worry about anything else that's going. You won't see what's happening. So
I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think, most mothers, they try to do things like that. Maybe not
mhm,
always successful, but,
right, right,
that's the goal, is to be able to do
mhm,
that. And then, you know, eventually we'll get to places in life where we can, you could tell Claudette, okay, sit down, you know,
right. And
but,
sometimes I'm even like you don't even. Some of the things for me is like, do you need a hug? You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, her brother died recently,
mm,
and I am yet to see my mom shed a tear. I've cried. I've boohoo cried over and over again about it because this was the uncle I used to live with when I first moved here, and I had a really good relationship with him. But I'm yet to see her break down about it. You know, when her mother died, it was the same thing, and then and I'm just like, okay, do you cry? Okay, you can take off your cape now. You can take it off and put it down and just cry.
Meanwhile, my mother cries all the time for
Oh,
everything.
really? Oh.
And then she makes
So,
me cry all the time about
oh
everything.
gosh.
I was just like, oh God.
So those are things that I have noticed that I know I personally want. I don't want to be that. I want to be tough, but I don't want to be that tough. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to. I want to cry at times. I want you to hold me and hug me.
You
You
want to
know?
cry. Well, I'm
I
sure you'll be able to achieve that balance. I mean, it
I've
is
changed
what
it.
your
I have
personality is, so I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I've changed that. I was not like that. I was not. I didn't like even in relationships. Like I wouldn't like holding hands. I didn't want you to kiss me. I just didn't like all of that mushy stuff. It was just like, ugh, seriously, like, ugh. Okay, get your act. Like if it's if it's a guy and he's all in his feelings, like get out of your feelings, man up, Negro, get over it. I didn't have no time or no place for that, but I didn't like that. I came to a point where I'm like, that's not the woman I want to be.
Right.
So, but
Well, I
I
think.
love my mom. My mom, she's a tough cookie, and I rate her. You know, she should get enough ratings. Claudette to get enough ratings. All right, you're doing
She
your
does.
thing,
She
girl.
does. I've come to love your
And she
mother.
loves my friends. I love how she loves my friends. Can I say that? Like she's
Oh
into
yeah.
you guys. I don't know why she like y'all like that, 'cause y'all ain't all of that. But she's just into my friends. And this is where I say she nosy. 'Cause she's always asking about them. Like, okay, can you stop asking about them? Like, it's not your business,
What you mean? You better talk about that. What's going on with me?
Yeah, she's every one of my friends, even ones that I used to have in high school, that she remembers.
Oh yeah.
She's always asking about them. How are they doing? How are their kids? How are their? I'm like, all right, mommy, chill. But yeah, I like that. I like that she likes my friends. I like that she asks about my friends. I like that she cares about them. So I like that. You know. But, yeah. And I
Well.
like your mom. I like your mom. Y'all Shine's mom is dope. Like Shine's mom is fun. I like Shine's mom. I've never seen that emotional side, but and like I saw your mom Sunday, your mom and your aunt Tony's mom. Yeah, I saw them Sunday, and they see me and they're like, "Whoa, Sunday, woman, you're here, you're here, you're here!" And this is the one piece of excitement in the hallway of church. Shine, and I'm just like, yo, chill. No, we haven't seen you in so long, and look at you. And you find a man yet? Like, guys, not because I'm not here doesn't mean I'm out there with a man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, where else
Like,
would
that's
you be?
right. Yeah, that's Elaine and your mom. You find a man yet? Is that why you're not here? Is he here today? Is he here today? Because you
So
got on
that
makeup today,
brings
so is he
me.
here? Because anytime I have on makeup, he's here.
Well, quickly, because we need to wrap up. But that brings me to one thing about my mom that me and Shanique are always annoyed about. So when it comes to other people, she's like, just like how she'll be like telling you need to find somebody, blah blah blah. But with us, she would. I don't know if she wants us to sit there and grow old with cobwebs, but she's excited about other people and their relationships, and then with our relationship, she's just kind of like, okay, real. Or like,
Actually, is your dad like that too?
oh, my dad would prefer if we just stayed at their house forever and never leave. Shanique, we'll talk about. I think we should do a Father's Day thing because we have fathers, but
We
no
do have
shade.
fathers. No shit.
No
We
shade.
didn't have this. Yeah, no,
Just
no,
saying.
no shit.
But so even like one time, one of my cousins was with us, and we went out for like mimosas, brunch, whatever. And we came back, and she was drunk to the point where we got to the house, and she went. It's like 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. She went to the bathroom and threw up, and my mother heard her throwing up and is in the kitchen making tea. You know, come, oh, you okay? Let me, oh man. And I'm like, if it was
Oh
ever one
my
of us that came
God.
back to the house like that, it would not be the same. She would be
Oh
side
my
eyeing us,
goodness.
like, didn't,
Probably praying over you.
why would you drink so much? But nope, she ain't say that to her. She was just taking care of her. And me and Shanique was just looking
Oh,
like, is she serious right now?
yeah, yeah.
But,
It's my
she means well. And I love my mother. I can always call her up and even just to have a familiar conversation, just to listen to her tell me the tea of everything that's going on. It's just comforting because I'm away. So I'm just like listening to her talk about a bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
uh, yeah, so so we have, all those moms are humans too, and even though they have their flaws, they're still our moms, and we still love them. Happy Mother's Day to all the other moms out there.
Yes.
You know,
Shout out to y'all because, that's not the life I can live right now.
um, yeah, that's another another podcast episode.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother
Um,
conversation. But yeah, real quick, anything you listening to other than Cardi B, clearly? Oh, I know. J. Cole's album. Did I say that last week?
no, you didn't, but I haven't jumped into that as yet.
This
But
J.
I've been
Cole
hearing a lot about
album,
it.
I love it so much. It's
Hmm.
really good. It's, you know, he dives into, even there's one song he dives into the mental health of his friends and people he knows, and how people use substances to cope. And we talked about that on one of our episodes before. And it's just a good album, I think. And he's going on tour. I hope I can catch that Atlanta date in, I don't know, when is it, August? We'll see.
Yeah. You know what? It's on my to-do list. Just but I haven't. I think I probably forgot about that because it's on the playlist. I have it saved. I just have not jumped into it. Um, I'm still listening to these love songs.
Ugh.
Um, I
I
don't
think
know
I got
what
out of that mood now.
I don't know what's going on with me right
It's the
now.
summertime. You gotta switch gears.
Is that what it is?
You gotta switch gears. Yeah, you gotta get rid of those.
I do. The season has changed. The sun is
It's
out.
about to be crop top season.
It's about to be. Oh no, I'm not going to be in any crop tops,
I'm
but
working on my crop top body right now, so we'll see.
you gonna be
Hopefully.
crop top ready?
I'm trying to be crop top shawty for the summer.
I'll be some type of shoddy, but it ain't crop top.
I'm trying to be crop top shawty. I'm telling you, you heard this here first. I'm changing my name on Twitter for the summer. Not Twitter, Instagram. Yeah,
What do
Twitter
you
too.
change it to?
It's a crop top shawty.
To crop top shorty.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what I'm changing mine to, but I'm still gonna be out here in these streets, looking. I don't know, not a mess though. Reminds me, I need to get my hair done. But anyways, haven't we been going on long enough? Isn't it time to wrap this up?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So you were right there.
What song are we ending this episode with? Any songs we need to put on here?
I don't even know. Boys to Men, Mama, you know. I'm kidding. No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
We need to
Follow
put
us on
here.
Instagram
We need to
and
do nice
Twitter.
for what? That's it. That needs to be some of y'all moms' anthem.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
Nice for what? Oh boy. Yes. Go ahead, Shy.
Yes, thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram at These Two Girls, Twitter at These Two Girls Pod. Email us if you got any hookups with some beats or you got any
Yeah.
suggestions for future podcasts, any questions you want to be on the podcast, anything you want to say hi, email us at These Two
You wanna
Girls
be a guest?
Podcast at gmail.com. And like and share us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Show us some love because it's our anniversary.
It's our anniversary. That's what it's. All right, bye.
Bye.